My love, let me tell you this now. People's opinions are not facts. You define yourself by yourself. One mistake, blocked. The next minute anybody annoys me, goodbye, cut off, blocked. If you're in your 20s, listen closely because these are mistakes that I made that cost me a lot of things. And if I knew then what I know now at 31, I would have saved myself from so much heartache and mental stress. But the honest truth is that I don't see them as regrets anymore. I see them now as lessons because every single one of these experiences has built me and shaped me into this self-aware, grounded woman that I am today. So in this video, I want to share some of the things that I have learned along the way and hopefully give you a perspective that will help you avoid some of these mistakes I made. I turned 31 a few months ago, and one of the mistakes I made in my 20s was allowing people's opinion to shape my self-esteem. This one hits me so deep because I used to let people's words live rent-free inside my head. When I was in my 20s, I used to allow people's opinion shape how I see myself. Especially when it came to my looks, I used to feel like I was not pretty because somebody said something that made me feel like I was not beautiful enough. My self-esteem was so low that I couldn't step out of the house without any form of makeup. It didn't matter if it was just mascara or eyeliner. I just had to put something on my face because I did not feel confident enough to face the world barefaced. I really wish I never allowed people do that to me. I wish I knew then that nobody's negative opinion about me should shape my reality. Because I grew up to know that most people that talk down on you are projecting their own insecurity. But because I did not have a strong sense of self at that time, I believed them. I shrunk myself. Now, there's nothing you want to tell me about me, both the negative and the positive, that I don't know. I am a very self-aware queen. For you, it might not be about your physical appearance. Maybe it's people making you feel like you're not smart enough or just planting seed of self-doubt in your heart, making you feel less about yourself in other ways. My love, let me tell you this now. People's opinions are not facts. You define yourself by yourself. The second mistake I made in my 20s was not giving people enough grace. I was quick to cut people off. I had zero tolerance. I used to brag a lot about how strong my cut-off game was. One mistake, blocked. The next minute anybody annoys me, goodbye, cut off, blocked. And while yes, boundaries are very, very necessary, I confuse boundaries with zero grace. But I grew up to understand that the truth is, many people operate from the level of awareness and maturity that they have. My dad will always say this thing to me. Now, where person says rich, now there they know rich. Especially when this person did not do it intentionally or this person wasn't trying to hurt you. I get it in this era where the advice is always cut people off, cut them off, let them go. Everybody knows what they are doing. Yes, while I understand that everybody knows what they are doing, sometimes people don't really know what they are doing. Choosing to just cut people off like that is honestly not the right answer. Sometimes you need to extend grace and have real conversations, because there are sometimes I've had issues with some people and in my head I'm thinking one thing, but by the time I decide to sit with them and have a conversation, I realize that that thing I was thinking was completely wrong. And even when people make mistakes and hurt you, please give them the chance, give them the opportunity to grow, because nobody is above mistake. Of course, there are times when you need to cut people off and let them go, because you will know when someone acted with bad intent versus when it was just a mere mistake. And even with that mistake made, nobody's above mistake. I am not above mistake. You are not above mistake. We will all, one way or the other, hurt each other. We are capable of hurting people. So learn to give people grace and the opportunity and chance to grow. That's how you handle situations wisely. But back then, me, mistake or not, I didn't care. Looking back now at some of the people that I pushed away, I'm just like, Rhoda, you were so irrational. And truthfully, if I want to be honest with myself, I regret letting those relationships go. Now I have come to realize and understand that instead of throwing relationships away, I try to nurture the relationships that I have and that matter to me, because some relationships are worth nurturing. And honestly, if you keep cutting people off every single time they do something to you, who are you going to have left in your life? Who will you really have left in your corner? Because at the end of the day, we all need community, right? We cannot do life alone. Another mistake I made a lot of times when I was in my 20s was overextending myself for others. I used to find it so hard to say no to people that I care about. And yes, while selflessness is a good thing, I was definitely crossing the line, especially for people who would not do half of what I was doing for them, for me. If someone asks me for something and even though I wanted to say no, I'll start overthinking. If I say no now, how will it make them feel? So many a times I was always pushing my feelings aside and just getting whatever it is they want done. I felt like saying no made me a bad person or made me a bad friend. I was always putting my needs last. You hear me say things like, oh, don't worry, I'll be fine, I'm fine. Even when I was not fine at all, even when I was just managing myself. But here is one thing I've learned the hard way. Constantly overextending yourself for other people does not make you a kind person. It makes you drained and resentful, especially when the people you are doing it for does not reciprocate your energy. But I'll be honest, I still have that tendency in me to overextend myself, but the difference now is I use wisdom. These days, I only extend myself to people that truly appreciate it, and I know will do the same thing for me if the roles were reversed. Yes, I am still a selfless person, but it is guarded selflessness. Before you see that part of me, I must have studied you well enough to know that you are worth it and you will do the same for me. Another mistake I was constantly making in my 20s was always comparing myself to others. Hey, this one robbed me. You know how people always say comparison is a thief of joy. Motivational speakers say it a lot. You see it in people's Instagram captions. And many times we even say it to ourselves, comparison is a thief of joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. You would think you understand it very well because honestly, I thought I understood. But it did not really sink in until I turned 30. Because in my 20s, especially with social media, hey, quick success has become the new trend. In this era where you see your age mates doing big things that you are not able to do for yourself yet, comparison is 10 times worse. I spent a huge part of my life measuring my life against other people. At that time, if I saw people around my age achieving the things I wanted to achieve for myself, doing the things I wanted for myself, hey, it would break me. I'm not even joking, no. I would spend almost a whole week thinking about that person's life. The time that I would have used to work on myself, I would spend it thinking about that other person. I would be stuck in my feelings. I would cry. I would break down so badly. I think it was around 28 when I was getting to 28, 29, I turned 30. That was when I started paying attention to these things and I decided to battle comparison. Growth has taught me that comparison is such a waste of time because now I guard my joy fiercely because you will just be there stuck in your feelings. Your mental, your emotional being is just getting affected for no reason. Now anytime anything is trying to raise up its ugly head to trigger those feelings, I cut it off immediately because I've learned that our journey, our stories are different. Our journeys are valid and your journey and my journey does not have to look the same. I actually made a whole video where I shared practical steps that helped me battle and deal with comparison. I will put the link somewhere on the screen or you will find the link in the description box. I also have a video on how to battle people pleasing and also how to embrace your insecurities. I will put all these links in the description box. So please go and watch them after watching this one. I have gotten to a point in my life now where if I see somebody doing so well, doing the things that I would love to happen for my own life, all I do now is as I'm watching you or as I'm scrolling and I'm seeing this, is I'm like, okay, oh, she's doing so well for herself. Thank God for you. Then I go back and focus on my own life and focus on the things that will better my own life. I immediately shut down that feeling because I know what I want to do in my life. So instead of spending my time wallowing in comparison and self-pity, I would be busy putting in the work to better my own life. So yeah, these are some of the mistakes I made in my 20s and honestly, I am still learning and that is the beauty of growth because we're learning as we go. But the difference now is I know better. Please tell me in the comment section which of these mistakes resonated with you and also please share with me the mistakes you wish you could have avoided in your 20s. It could be anything really. Relationship, career, business, whatever. Please just share it with me in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Please don't forget to like this video. Give us a big thumbs up. Click the like button. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe because I would love to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.